We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Wow, Teofimo Lopez's pops, Team Lopez, says they are not going back to Top Rank unless it's pay-per-view. And get this, they say that what Teofimo is doing, the stand he's taking, is comparable to Muhammad Ali dodging the Vietnam War for religious reasons. Wow. We're going to talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Use my link to get TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension to help you level up your YouTube content. It does not matter what your YouTube channel is about, the genre, TUBEBUDDY can help. I've been using TUBEBUDDY for years. I started off with 0 subscribers. Now I have over 200,000. This is something that I use daily to upload videos like this, so I'm vouching for it. Use TUBEBUDDY to help level up your content. Link in the description. Now, let's jump right into the mix. Wow, Teofimo's pops did an interview and he says, quote, "We ain't fighting with Top Rank no more unless it's pay-per-view. We are pay-per-view. My son has done things that nobody else has done. And we're in the position now to create a monster in the boxing community, and no one has seen that in a long, long time. He's gonna make a lot of money with my son. I told Bob Arum the first day I met him, this is the kid that is going to bring up this company. And all they gotta do is believe in him. The money will come. We fought Lomachenko for pennies, but we're not doing that anymore. It's the takeover, baby. We're taking over the game of boxing. We're taking over everybody right now. It's just a game, right?" He goes on to say, "I know these things play out for some odd reason, and the odd reason is in my favor. There's too much damage that has been done. We're looking forward to see what happens next. The damage has been done. There's no way of going back. We've got mandatory fights, so people don't understand nobody is sitting us down. We already took a low rate for the Lomachenko fight when we took less money to get those belts. I told my son, once you have those belts, you can do whatever you want. And that's what we're doing right now. We're putting the sport of boxing on the big stand because we're showing these boxers that they are worth more than the promoters think they're worth. We took a stand for that. This is big. This is like the Muhammad Ali era where Muhammad Ali stood for his rights. He didn't want to go fight in Vietnam War. It's the same ish we're doing with my son now. He's standing for his rights for the fighters. They deserve more money, but they're scared of these promoters because they're scared the promoters to sit them down, but we got a contract." Wow. Wow. You know, like for me, I'm always pro fighter in terms of getting money, you know, and just I'm an entrepreneur. So having my own small business or whatnot, I'm always about getting money, grinding. Shout out to everybody who sent super chats and cash apps, and also got the UFC 260 using my link, CashApp, $Boxingego. Let's get it. So, you know, I ain't no stranger to advocating for, you know, just entrepreneurial endeavors and taking your life and manifesting and taking your career into your control. I have no problems with that attitude. However, I do think Teofimo Lopez and his dad have put out a lot of statements and information, and I don't know how wise it is. I think we're going to find out here shortly, and this could be a very interesting battle. Just like the Thriller video where Michael Jackson is eating the popcorn with the Letterman jacket, that's how I'll be watching this situation, because they're playing a very dangerous game with Top Rank. They've insulted Bob Arum's stepson. They said there's no turning back and the damage is done. We're not going back. They said we're pay-per-view only, you know, all these different things. And, you know, we'll see how it plays out. I don't know Bob Arum, what he's thinking and whatnot, but from what I've seen from Bob Arum and what I know or think I know of Bob Arum, I don't think he's going to take kindly to this. And, you know, Teofimo's team and his dad and him, they kind of have an energy where they're kind of approaching the situation aggressively. So you have to understand in the business world, it's a dog eat dog world. You know, you swimming in a pool full of sharks, and then if you meet someone with aggression, you're oftentimes met with aggression yourself. So I just hope Split T Management, David McWater, Teofimo, and Teofimo Sr. know what they're doing. As far as this being anything like Muhammad Ali the Great, rumble, young man, rumble. I shook up the world. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, of course. I see literally no comparison to a purse bid and, you know, Teofimo leaving Top Rank and not fighting on the ESPN network to fight on Triller. I see no comparison or any way that connects to what Muhammad Ali did. You know, God bless his soul, rest in peace, you know, to the greatest. But I don't really see it. Muhammad Ali, for religious reasons, he changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, right? Didn't want to be called by his slave name. He stood up for what he believed in. If you listen to his videos, he's like, I'm not going to Vietnam. Them people never call me a nigga. They're doing that in my own country. And Teofimo is talking about the takeover, baby, the takeover, and we going to war, Bob Arum and Top Rank. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see a correlation between those two things. One person is standing up and not fighting in a, like, how is this even, like, we're talking about the Vietnam War where there was casualties, platoons, and, you know, people come back with Agent Orange and PTSD and missing limbs or die, you know, in Vietnam and step on landmines, things like this. How are we comparing what Teofimo is doing? Plus, what Teofimo has done as far as winning the purse bid and fighting on Triller, this hasn't really impacted. Like, they're making it sound like this is some, like they stood up for all the fighters, but no other fighter is impacted positively by this one very purse bid. Like, they haven't really set a precedence for anything. Shakur Stevenson, he's probably gonna fight who he fights and who Top Rank gets for him, and his paycheck is gonna be similar to what it probably would have been had Teofimo not had the Triller fight. You see what I'm saying? Versus Muhammad Ali, what he was doing, and the whole standing up and quote unquote dodging the draft for religious reasons, that sets a precedent for, you know, that's he went and had prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, Teofimo's not gonna go to prison. It just sounds crazy to me. You know, Teofimo's not gonna go to prison for what he's fighting for. He's not Nelson Mandela. So to take, you know, Nelson Mandela, who's fighting for apartheid, Muhammad Ali, who didn't want to go fighting in a war, people fighting for these big, vast reasons and being a martyr for what they believe in, I really don't see what Teofimo has done. It sounds kind of delusional, to be honest, that he even made that comment in comparison. I don't see anything that kind of connects the situation. It doesn't set a precedence. It doesn't help other fighters. If promoters want to jerk other fighters and they're in a bad quote unquote 360 deal like in the music industry, then that's what it is. I don't think Teofimo winning a purse bid, it doesn't really help other fighters who are on the come up and may have promoter or managerial issues. But at the end of the day, we will see how this all plays out. Teofimo and his team, they seem a little too big for their britches, in my opinion. But, you know, at the end of the day, we'll see if it pays off. It's like they're really playing with fire, though, because this could get ugly, and it could get ugly fast. Like, you have to look at it. I made a video, talked about it. They're saying we're not going back to Top Rank unless we're on pay-per-view. And they're saying we're pay-per-view fighters. Nobody in the sport has done what we've done. What is that? Beating Lomachenko? Orlando Salido beat him in his second fight. You see what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, Usyk, they've been undisputed. Teofimo is manufactured undisputed because of the whole situation with Devin Haney and the franchise champion. So I'm not really understanding Team Lopez, the message, quite fully. I don't know what his son has done that is like he didn't put. If you look at Terrence Crawford just fought Kell Brook, and his numbers weren't far off from Lomachenko Teofimo, and one was a fake manufactured unification, undisputed unification, and Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook, most people kind of knew how that was going to play out. And the Crawford fight did relatively well on ESPN and didn't even get the same push. It wasn't available on ESPN Plus. It was only on ESPN, and it still did like 2.1 million, 2.2 million. And the Lomachenko fight did a little bit more than that, like 2.8, maybe 3 million, maybe. So I don't quite get the message. I don't see where all this ego is coming from, no pun intended. I haven't seen what Teofimo. I do think Teofimo is a great fighter, and I even picked him to beat Lomachenko. But his team, like I said, we'll see how it plays out and what is in store. But I hope they've read through the contract and they know what they can and can expect here. And here's the other thing is, you've seen fighters in the fast lane and have that rise to prominence, the Adrian Broners. I hope all this doesn't distract Teofimo from what this should be about, which is his career. Because if he looks bad or loses to George Kambosos, if the unthinkable happens, something like that, then after all this commotion, it's gonna be hard. He's like basically baiting Bob Arum, saying they can't sit us down. But if that's the case, what makes Teofimo and his team so certain? What was the situation with Top Rank and Mikey Garcia? How did that play out for Mikey Garcia to sit on the sidelines for 3 years? So, I don't know. I don't know what their contract says. So this is all conjecture and speculation, but it doesn't seem like a wise game to play. Even if you're going to play this game, meaning you want to separate from Top Rank, I would just do the moves and get the moves in motion and not be so public. Why are you doing interviews and telling people your next move? To me, that's not wise. I would just do it. Ain't nothing to talk about. But when you talk, you got to read the 48 laws of power. When you talk about it, you give your opponent time to react, or you give your foe or your potential foe time to react and, try to thwart your plans. So by all this talking that Team Lopez is doing, they're only giving Top Rank ammunition to prepare for what could be next. And they still haven't even got past George Kambosos. We don't know Triller's long-term role in the sport of boxing. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. Again, in closing, I don't see any comparable comparison to Muhammad Ali and what Teofimo is doing. Muhammad Ali in the Vietnam War, I feel like that's extreme. And, Teofimo's team just sounds like they've beaten Lomachenko and he was undefeated, and Floyd Mayweather and Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Tank. That's how they're almost acting. But again, to each his own. I'm just giving you my thoughts. We will see how this all plays out. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Is Teofimo pay-per-view? The other thing with the pay-per-view, let me say this real quick. Smash the like button. The other thing with the whole pay-per-view angle is pay-per-view, first of all, this is not the 1990s, early 2000s. There's different ways for people to see the pay-per-views that, obviously you guys know about in 2021. Beyond that, you still have the network. What does ESPN think? Do they want to put the fight? Do they have a slot? I don't know exactly how that works. I'm sure ESPN, Disney execs have to approve it or greenlight it, because from my understanding, Bob Arum wanted to put Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez on pay-per-view, the first fight. And ESPN rejected it and said, no, that's what sources have said. So if they weren't willing to put that fight on pay-per-view and Teofimo said he's not rematching Lomachenko, then what? You're saying you're not going back to Top Rank unless it's pay-per-view. What fight can you fight on pay-per-view that's realistic? Many questions here, but you guys let me know in the comment section. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.